Well, good morning, friends. So, it's been a while since I've posted anything on the YouTube channel, North Star Traveler. That's because I've been busy. So, what have I been busy doing? Well, I left back January, I think 15th or 16th, from Minneapolis, traveled 2.5 days and got to northern Florida, where I visited my good friend Jim and Julie, friends, and stayed outside of Tallahassee with them, enjoying northern Florida. Temps were, say, 60 degrees at the time, or maybe a little chillier. And did a little golfing and down to Apalachicola, visiting that city, on St. George Island. Did a little beach time. And from there, I made my way down to Naples, where I stayed down there at a RV resort, playing tennis with a bunch of guys, some friends from Minneapolis also there. And at that point, I headed across the coast to the Palm Beach, Fort Worth, Lake Worth, Florida area, where I met up with some good friends, Ravi, Bertrand, Mark, Scott, my brother Jenks, and myself. We did 4 days of tennis, food, and fun, and had a great time with them for those 4 days, and stayed in this Airbnb that was just like a tropical paradise. And I'll throw some pictures in as I put this film together. Hopefully, I have a few. So where am I now? Where am I now? Well, Florida's an interesting place because I am in Ichitucky Springs, which is near Gainesville, a little bit north of that. And so I am in the middle of hardwoods and mossy type trees. And this area, like last night, got down to 35 degrees. There you can see my home. It's kind of in the sun here a little bit. Got down to 35 degrees last night. It's a little chilly, but a few blankets and sweatpants, etc. And wow, I was warm as could be. I had a great night's sleep. Here you get a little view of my home right now. So what's cool about this area is it's cooler. Once you get above Tampa, climate changes. So it's cooler. Today's high is going to be maybe about 65, I think, which is great because it's still cold up north. And the area has a lot of water resources. Now this area, Ichitucky Springs, is known for its hot springs. Not hot, but warm springs, 70-degree type springs, where you can actually go scuba diving, snorkeling, swimming, canoeing, rafting, kayaking, all through this area. If I were going to stay here a few more days, I probably would try to do a few of those things. But it's definitely a come back again type place. Maybe have some friends come along and we could check that out. So I'm in a pretty nice campground. You can see it's all hardwoods, a picnic table and a fire pit. It's over here. There we go. And a couple neighbors, but they're in the woods. You can't really see them, wherever they are. So we're going to take a little walk. Just a little walk. I got to get a selfie stick. This arm is wearing out. There we go. Pardon my thumb. Bring a little bit of my garbage along here. But we're going to go for a little bit of walk. Just see what's out here. It was a quiet night. As I mentioned, it got cold. And 35 is probably exceptionally cold for this time of year. So I think tonight, if I were going to stay here, it would have been, I think it's 45 is going to be the low. So just had a cold snap. The weather front came through last night, or the night before, with some heavy rains in Fort Worth, and brought in some cool temps. There you can see a nice Class B. Look at that, Serenity now. Serenity now. Well, I think I'm recording again. But just interestingly enough, I talked to this gentleman who has this leisure van. He's from Pittsburgh, Mount Lebanon area. And I know it well, having lived in Pittsburgh for 25 years. And he tows that little vehicle behind has a Mercedes 3-liter engine in it. That's pretty cool. Got solar panels on the ProMaster there. And it's pulling a big trailer. Wow. Oh. All sorts of cool rigs in this area. That looks like an old, I don't know if you can see it, old Class A. Wow. He looks to be a little long term. So yeah, here's the entranceway. To my little campground. There I am. And you know, it's kind of a sandy, soft road. There's Lily's garden. Welcome campers. It's a nice sight. And this cool. This big entranceway. Yeah. Itchitucknee Springs. You know, a lot of equestrian. See some horse farms here. But I'm back in the, pretty much back in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. Feels good to kind of walk around a little bit. Spent yesterday driving across the state. Probably 6 hours on the road. And so where am I going now? Today? Oh, you can see me down in the, there I am. Oh, the back way. So I'm headed back to see Jim and Julie. And we got 2 nights on St. George Island in the state camp, St. Julian, which is supposed to be one of the nicest beaches in all of Florida. And I was on the beach a little bit on a very cold day back in January. So it's going to warm up to the 70s now. And we're going to a couple nights camping there. And from there I'm going to make my slow way back to Minnesota. I'm hoping to do a little of the Natchez Trail. I've got a Harvest Host stay at a tea company, which ought to be cool. We'll be drinking tea and camping. It's a good combination. And then from there I'm going to go to Hot Springs in Arkansas, and I'm gonna hope to get a couple days in of riding because they have fantastic roads for motorcycling there. And then I got to figure it out from there where I go. So there's supposed to be a back way in here. It's a private campground. Well, I'm not getting out this way. I was thinking of just have to just turn around, come out. I was just going to follow the path out and try to get out, but that is an emergency exit. And the emergency would be one where they have to unlock the gate. These cool places back in here. So you can see they have really kind of densely forested private camping spots. Isn't it gorgeous? This day is not a cloud in the sky. And got about a 3-hour trip to hook up with Jim and Julie. And we're gonna have some nice warm weather the rest of the week, it looks like. It's peaceful, quiet, soft, sandy, easy to walk. Pretty cool. You can kind of see my van in the little distance there. But well worth, it was 20 bucks a night. And that's primitive camping, so no hookups. I don't really need them, because I am self-sustained. But it's nice to have garbage to kind of throw out some of the waste. So I think what I'll do is there's a little turnaround, so I can turn around, come through here, and go back out, and leave this campground and head back north. I'm going to be taking all back roads, which will be really nice. I mean, yesterday I had a little bit of that coming through, and there's just some nice, in this area in particular, nice little tourist towns where people were coming to enjoy water activities. And like I said, I got this marked on my maps, and we will be coming back another time to spend some longer periods of time here. Yeah, so I'm going to head back in here and get things organized, and make my way out of the camp, heading north again. Ooh, I think I'm back. So anyhow, I'm leaving the Chautauqua Springs. See some of my fellow campers. That's a nice example of a ProMaster conversion. And there you see a pop-up, it looks like. Woohoo! Lots of space. Lots of space this time of year. So can't beat it for 20 bucks. If you can, if you don't need heat and sewer, electric, ooh, and water. Whoop. Hi, me. Do tent camping, car camping, all sorts of camping. There's our office, and our host lives in the trailer right there. They're really nice, a nice couple. Their initials were K and K. It was maybe Christy and Kurt. But very nice. Anxious to have me. And a beautiful, beautiful site. Deep in the woods in the middle of Florida. Yeah. And there's also some things starting to bloom. You can see that the leaves are actually being pushed off by some of the trees that are budding, ready to bring back their leaves. There's a ProMaster we saw earlier with the trailer behind it. They've got a bunch of solar on the top of that. And off and away we go. So, all right, so we're on the road again. I'm gonna pause here for a second. Gotta get my maps up, find out where the heck I'm going. But the cool thing about this spot is it's right along the way, because to get to where I'm going is there's no major highway. I think it's Route 27 gets you through. So there's a little pull off here. So we're gonna pause and I'll just kind of update you on a few stories from my trip. So pause time.